Kennett, Zenith Cablevision. Thank you for watching. It's time for talk. Each evening at this time, Monday through Friday, Rosemary interviews local personalities and others who bring items of interest to this community. Time for Talk is a community betterment service. Tonight, Rosemary takes us by means of portable camera out of our studios and maybe into your neighborhood. And now, it's time for Talk.
Tonight we're in the boardroom of the Chamber of Commerce. Now, if you've been watching on Tuesday nights, you know for the past 2 months or longer, we've been doing some of the men whose pictures hang on this wall behind me. Well, let me tell you, here is a face that's going to hang on this wall behind whenever he gets it done. We have the 1998 president of the Chamber of Commerce, and it's Larry Swindle.
Hello.
Larry, good to have you.
Well, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to finally being up on this wall. This will be put up after the end of my tour of duty. And those pictures behind us are some of the leaders of Kennett's past.
And you knew a lot of these fellas.
Names that are familiar to the old-timers like Baker, Baldwin, Dalton, Jones.
He's going down the alphabet. He's got to memorize.
1, 2, 3, 4. And then the ones that when I moved to Kennett in 1968 and became associated with the bank in town, and then looking back at all the various leaders of the community who volunteered their time to be president of the Kennett Chamber.
All right, and you're gonna make a great president. I know that for a fact already.
Thank you.
Of course, we heard you for the first time as president at the banquet that they always have in the early spring.
That is really the first official duty. You actually take over in January, but the March is kind of like the transition between the old and the new.
Okay.
And that's just tradition, is that we got in the habit of having our annual banquet in March, and so that's our really first out function that's really that the public gets to see.
Now, how much of that banquet does the president do you have a say in who should? How does this work?
Usually, the outgoing speaker, the outgoing chairman, or president of the chamber, is the one that kind of is responsible for the speaker. And we're always trying to find people that would be pleasing and acceptable to about 500 people, and that's almost how many people we have, right?
It was a great crowd.
So we try to find someone who has a message, someone who's entertaining, and we're going to try better this year about make sure that it's within a proper time frame, and then I would have to say that a lot of the work, though, we have a little input, but a lot of the work is done by the paid staff of the Chamber of Commerce, and that's Jim Baker, and that's Carol Hinfling and Trissou Duke, and they provide all the work, and we just kind of fill in the cracks.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I also know that the function of the president, you, for instance, I saw you at the Educator of the Year award, and then all the ribbon cuttings.
Those are some of those things that are the fun things, and also that every once in a while we get a picture in the paper, and because we do get to be with the people that are establishing new businesses in town, and we get to help cut the ribbon and welcome them to Kennett.
All right, now you talked about all the fun things. All right, do you mean to imply that there are some things that are just purely work? Well, for instance, how do you see this job? What will occupy your time as president?
Well, one of the jobs that we do that probably a lot of people don't know is that we have a planning session. And we usually go away for one day, and we have it in a place.
The whole chamber.
The board of directors.
The board, all right. Yes.
And we ask the superintendent of schools, we ask our mayor, we ask chairman of our respective committees to come, and we talk about what's right with Kennett and what's wrong with Kennett, and things that we could do. If we had a wish list, what would we like? Things that we think can be accomplished in the year. And then also what are our things that need to be corrected. So that's one of the first sessions. That's usually held in February, and we kind of talk and we get away from telephones and have good fellowship and may get to know each other a little bit better. So.
Okay, so some of the things that came up then at that session that you think you will be working with.
Okay. Well, one of the things, and our mayor has been very active in it, and the city and the Board of Public Works, is that the city, through the Board of Public Works, bought the old, what I call the old Kroger building, which we hope to make it into a learning center. And
now you say learning center. Now, I take it that you mean this is not to be a junior college, or it's not to be, that's different.
Well, I can tell you that it definitely is not going to be a junior college. This would be in concert with, and maybe a consortium with the Southeast Missouri State University. That's who we're working with right now, and then we're also talking a little bit with Three Rivers Junior College. But a learning center is that we would be able to offer some classes, both on a graduate and undergraduate basis as needed, but also that would maybe expand that, and that we would offer maybe, the big buzzword right now is workforce development and job readiness. We would like to offer opportunities to have like technical skills,
now you're not talking about a vocational school.
Well, not so much a vocational school, but a kind of a little bit of vocational school, a little bit of technical school, a little bit of college, a little bit of advanced college, and kind of so that it, as the name implies, it is a learning center. It is not just for the college prep student. It is for the also workforce development in the sense that it would relearn some of these people that maybe have been at a factory for several years and now they're learning new skills in that respective job.
Well, all right, that might be, has any of this actually happened?
We have
are
one,
any of our industry people having to go back to school?
Yes, we have one factory that, one of our factories in town, who has have long-time employees that have had to go out of town to learn more about computers and make sure that they're up to snuff on, because their business is changing and their equipment is changing, and so therefore what they knew 15 years ago is not going to get them ahead for the next 15 years.
Okay, now this in no way would rival what goes on, say, at our high school, Votech school. No. This is for a different group of people.
This would be a different group, but we would, at the high school, they have like auto body, they have refrigeration, they have LP in school, and these would be, the way that I envision it, and I think the way our chamber and our education committee of the chamber, we would like that to be an extension of that, and that cover areas that are not covered in the high school curriculum.
Okay, well, I hope that works out.
You're right.
Now, address the URCO situation.
Well, of course, this is one of those things that we always hate to see a business leave town, and an industry that leaves town, and particularly an industry that employs over 100 employees. And so what we're trying to do, and the way Jim Baker, who is our director of our chamber, works real actively with the people who now own URCO, is now standard registered. And we're trying to help them market that building. And in turn, if we help market that building, that means that if we can find that right company that can buy the building, that means we can also bring jobs into town and get that building filled.
All right. Did I hear someone say that it has been put nationally?
It has just been placed. It has just been placed with a national, in essence, real estate company, so that it's out of just the Kennett realm. It's now in a national realm, so that people, whether it's on the California coastline or whether it's on the Atlantic coast, that they can say, hey, there's a building, 100,000 square feet building in Kennett, and it's got all these good features in it.
Okay. Now, tell me, when you get a call from somebody, say from California, you mentioned California, so you get a call from someone from California, and they say, we hear you have this facility. What does the chamber do at that point?
Well, many times they will not let you know who that company is. So what Jim and Carol and Trissou do from the chamber office...
Is they tap phones?
No.
No.
They send a packet of information. They send, if it's about the building, then they would send all the things, the specs about the building. But we also do one more thing. We tell them about the Kennett in southeast Missouri and the Boot Hill. We talk about what's available, quality of life issues in Kennett and in the Boot Hill. We talk about what kind of labor force we have. We send them a lot of demographic information.
Okay, and then do they ever send scouts, and even though you still don't know who they are, do you ever take them around?
Yes, we have, Bill Privet is the chairman of our industrial committee, and he is the one that kind of helps mother hen if we have some guests that come to town, that he will try to take them around, and if they want to talk to someone in the job service or the Division of Employment Security, he'll make arrangements with them. He also, many times, the industries that are considering coming to Kennett will want to visit with the managers and the people associated with the other industry in town, like at Parker Hannafin, Emerson Electric, one time Yorko, because they want to find out. They know we're going to be plugging Kennett and how good the workers are in Kennett. They want to talk to the people that are actually having to face workers on a daily basis and find out what kind of workers that we have in Kennett. And I will have to say that we score extremely well.
Okay, all right. So I don't suppose you'll know if we're getting any nibbles now.
We won't know for a while, but we're hoping that that nibble comes pretty quickly.
Okay. I know that you've semi-retired.
Well, I really did. I worked with, I guess I won't hurt for me to put in a plug. I came in 1968 and came to work for the Bank of Kennett. And so in 1973, we became part of a holding company. And so we became Bank of Kennett, a First Union Bank. Then we came in 1981, I believe, the Centair Bank, and then we became Bovens Bank, and then we became Nations Bank.
The sign people have done well.
Yes, you're right.
I mean, they have made a fortune.
They sure have,
okay.
And printing companies and all that.
Yeah, all right.
And so I elected to retire in August of 1997. And I've tried, my wife and I have gotten along extremely well, and she's been very...
Until now?
No, she still is. She's still very understanding. And I've tried the coffee shop routine, and...
but you're home a lot more.
I am home a lot more, yes. And I decided...
Twice as much husband and half as much money.
Yeah, you're right, exactly. Okay. My wife has heard that comment. But the people from Senior State Bank called me and asked me, they said, if you are interested in coming out of retirement, we are considering putting a branch of Senior State Bank in Kennett. And if you would like to work there, we'd like to be considered.
They thought you knew enough about the banking industry to...
Yeah, I'll tell you what, things have changed in banking over these 30 years, though. They really have. But I am looking forward to...
so you're going to do that?
I'm going to do it. I'm going to hopefully provide very small-town, local quality service.
Okay. Now that really was a plug, and we're not going to charge him.
Okay.
All right. Okay. In the time we have left, anything that we haven't covered that you see that's going to be coming up?
Well, Ms. Bertram, I'd like to say that we've got just the remainder of the year is just filled with activities about what's going to be happening. We really don't know what's going to be coming into town. We have a restaurant that's going to be opening hopefully May the 1st. We have a
motel.
We have a motel that's going to hopefully open May the 1st. And those will be some ribbon cuttings that we'll be going to.
And we've been running around town getting the new construction going on. There is a lot of new construction.
The Unico Bank has a very attractive bank that's being built on...
And what's this thing, the one-stop thing?
That's where the Department of Employment Security and the Department of...
three things going on.
Family Services are all going to be in one office. So, and some of these are going to be hiring new people. So we hire additional staff. That means more jobs for Kennett, and that's one of the real big jobs for the Chamber of Commerce is job development, and it's tough. And But as they make dollars, then they spend dollars in Kennett, hopefully, and that helps our sales tax, and so it's kind of like a vicious circle.
All right, you've been listening to Larry Swindle. He's the president of the Chamber of Commerce now, and is going to do us a great job, I know. Larry, thank you for coming, being our guest.
Thank you.
You have been watching Time for Talk.